What's up? Vaping Geek here. So, I'm not going to be doing a review. I am going to kind of do, it's like giving people hope, I'll say. To not get discouraged if you have tried e-cigs and it didn't really work and you still smoked and you kind of gave up because you couldn't afford both, or just you kept on smoking because you're addicted to the habit of cigarettes. You're still getting the nicotine from e-cigs, but you want a cigarette because it always takes effort. Don't think you're going to buy an e-cig and then all of a sudden you're going to magically quit smoking cigarettes. Some people that has worked. Most, and in my case, me, I did not instantly quit smoking cigarettes when I got into vaping. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience, and this is kind of just, don't get discouraged. You will find that point of vaping that will interest you enough that you don't have to have cigarettes anymore, because it worked for me. So here we go. When I first started, I got the cig-alike and dabbled around that a little bit. Didn't work. Then my friend, he had a variable voltage Ego style battery, so I got myself an Ego style battery, and it was just the set voltage 3.7, and that I was liking it. It was Vape Puro, so it was really low quality. I was liking it, but it didn't make me quit smoking cigarettes. I might have went like a day without smoking a cigarette, and then I started smoking full time again, but I still was vaping on the side because I liked the idea of vaping. I liked I thought it was cool. So kept on smoking. Got tired with that. Went and got a variable voltage Ego style, an Ego twist. That was awesome. Got a new tank. I got a mini Pro Tank 2, and I was loving that because that's one of the better mini tanks you can get, in my opinion. Got tired of that. Went to the Vision Spinner because I wanted more battery life. And I gave away my set voltage, so I wanted more battery life. Vision Spinner 1100 mAh, and I was digging that. Still smoking, by the way. This hasn't got me off of smoking cigarettes. Went and I started dabbling on juices, and I found a lot of juices that I liked, or I thought I liked at the time. I didn't know I could get as good a juice as I have now, but still was smoking cigarettes. I mean, like, longest I went without cigarettes a day. Still. Then I wanted, when I got the Vision Spinner, I was planning on getting a mod. Was looking at mods. They're all expensive, around $100, the ones that I wanted to get. So I just went with the Vision Spinner because I figured, I got an 1100 mAh and I got a 700 mAh, or 750 or 650, and I figured that'll last me all day. They're lasting me a couple days right now because I'm smoking cigarettes. So I didn't see really the point in getting a bigger mod. Well, my buddy gets a mod and he gets a kick for it, so you can go 15 watts on that mod. And I mean, I wanted a mod after that. So, and I dabbled around in tanks, juices. I built a collection of tanks here. Show you a little. And I have gave away 4 or 5 to people that have tried vaping and it didn't stick for them. So I've gave away 4 or 5 tanks. But dabbled around in tanks, dabbled around in juice. I came to the decision, after watching a couple videos, that this is the one that I wanted. And this is the Inikin iTaste MVP V2 version 2. Taste it, love it. This thing was gave you the resistance and ohm reader and told you the life of your battery. I mean, that ohm reader right there was something that I was excited about. And then you got your power, your variable wattage, from 11 to 6, and then you got your variable voltage from 3.3 to 5 volts. So I was digging this. You have a lot of control of what you're gonna be vaping on, and everything fits on it. You can charge your cell phone off of it, and man, this was my baby for a long time. Well, not a long time, because I've only been vaping for 6 months, but it was my baby for for a good while of that 6 months. I was still smoking though. I had not quit smoking after getting this. I was still smoking a pack a day, and I was vaping on the side too. Well, one day I go to my local shop and I see some Canthal and some silica. I'm thinking, hey, I'm gonna tear into my first mini pro tank atomizer. So the replacement head, I ripped it open. I found it very interesting how simple it was, and I started rebuilding my replacement heads. And I was really enjoying it. And I told people that once you start doing that, it becomes a hobby. So this was my new hobby. I still smoked cigarettes, but now I had a hobby of electronic cigarettes. So I was enjoying that. I was rebuilding every day. And then I get bored again, and I hear about RDAs, RBAs. So I go out and buy myself a Trident clone. And I buy the Trident clone. I'm so excited. I get it. I run home. I roll my coil around, just regular old coil around silica, and I throw that bad boy in there, and it doesn't work for me. And yeah, so I messed up, and I started watching a couple videos on rebuildables, and I realized that my coil was touching the dripping well. That's why it wasn't working. So when I got that fixed, I was enjoying it. I went and I got myself an iGo-L. Started building on that thing, and started getting my skills up, watching more and more and more videos. Got an iGo-W. Well, I decided to get another iGo-L and another iGo-W. And by this time, I'm building, and I come across some videos, so I go and I get myself a mechanical mod. The Camry K101 with two eFest 18650 batteries. And I am enjoying this. Now, this is what is a hobby right here. Still smoking, full time, pack a day. I got a hobby though. So, I mean, I'm telling myself I'm going to quit smoking. And I try to make my pack run out, and then I vape as long as I can without a pack, and then I go and I buy another pack. So, and I found out real quick, when I buy a pack of cigarettes, they're getting smoked. I'm not going to buy a pack of cigarettes, and I can't just let them sit around. I have to not have cigarettes. So I go out, well, I mean, I'm building on these. Well, I like to build coils. And I'm starting to get tired of ripping coils out of these 4 RDAs, or 5 RDAs at this point, and then put new coils in them. So I go and I purchase my Omega clone, and I'm loving that thing. It's difficult to build on because of the raised walls on it. It's difficult to build on. And you have to trap underneath the screw, between the screw and the post, and it's difficult, and it's fun because it's difficult. And right shortly after I get that Omega, I have my last cigarette on May 28th. And it is, what, the 16th, 15th or 16th of June today? So 2.5 weeks, I have not had a cigarette. None. I'm not even really any cravings. I mean, I have this bad boy. And I started out at 24 milligram on my nic level on juice. I'm down to 6 milligram to 0 milligram nic. So I go out and I buy an Atomic clone, and then I go out and I buy a Trident version 2 clone, and I go out and buy Origin version 2 clone, and now I'm not craving a cigarette. And it took me 5 months of vaping and smoking and trying out new stuff and graduating to new stuff where I finally came to a point in vaping where it is as much as a hobby and interactive and really, really fulfilling to me that I can confidently say that I am done smoking. That I have found my point of vaping to quit smoking at. And that's the whole thing with it. That's the beauty about e-cigs. You could buy a cig-alike, and then that could satisfy you enough to quit smoking cigarettes. And if that doesn't work, you can move up to just the starter kit. If that doesn't work, you can go up to variable voltage. If that doesn't work, you can go up to mods. If that doesn't work, you can go up to mechanical mods. I mean, sub-ohm vaping. That's where I had to go to give up cigarettes, was sub-ohm vaping. And sub-ohm vaping, don't jump into sub-ohm vaping. Research it. Do your research. Make sure you get the right batteries. Make sure you have an ohm reader. Make sure that you know what you're doing before you sub-ohm. But that's what it took for me. I had to do my research, watch hundreds of videos. That's what it took. Don't be discouraged. It took me 5.5 months to finally find what I was looking for to quit smoking. And not just that, it's the flavors that you go for, and the type of juice, the ratio of PG and VG of the juice. So here, it took me finding Mount Baker Vapor. That's what it took. I had to find Mount Baker Vapor. I had to find my Max VG mix. I had to find my milligram that I needed. I had to find sub-ohm vaping and mechanical mods. And, I mean, I don't smoke anymore. And it's awesome, and I love it, and it's only been 2.5 weeks, and I can already taste stuff I haven't been able to taste in a while, and I can smell stuff that I haven't been able to smell in a while. And an example of that is I took a sweatshirt that I hadn't washed and it's sitting in my car, and I put it on, and I almost gagged from the smell of this sweatshirt. It smelled like cigarette smoke so bad. And before, I didn't smell anything. I mean, I couldn't smell cigarettes at all. Yeah, so get into vaping. If it doesn't work, like if it's not like your cure-all at first, don't give up. Start researching, start experimenting, start moving up in the vaping world. Dive in head first. Do your research, but dive in head first. Find out what's going to work for you. And there's so much stuff here in the vaping community, and it's evolving so fast. There's new stuff coming out all the time. You're not going to get bored. There's so much stuff for you to try, and there's like new coil builds coming out. I mean, you'll never get bored. It will never get old. So the video's running a little long, but I'll leave it at that. I'll take a vape and let you go. Vaping Geek out. Peace.